In the weeds, let's jump into Ken Rosenthal's notes column from this morning. This is probably your favorite topic because we get to jump into Ken's notes, AJ, without Ken. So you get to play Ken and give me your thoughts on what he threw out there. Let's start with the Dodgers. He said after investing a combined $107 million in free agent relievers this past offseason, Tanner Scott, Blake Trinan, and Kirby Yates, they are expected to pursue bullpen help, according to sources briefed on the team's plans. He pointed to Tanner Scott having a worse year, giving up a lot more homers in the first half. That could change, but Evan Phillips, Tommy John surgery, Blake Trinan expected to join the team soon. Kopech is out again, but hopefully back in the next few weeks. Brusdar Graterol working his way back from shoulder surgery. Thoughts on the Dodgers going for more bullpen help?
What did Jim Bowden just say? Every team wants bullpen help. You
Of
can
course.
never have enough bullpen help. Tanner Scott's got to figure it out. He's probably been out of this group the most disappointing, I would say, after the year he came off last year. Kirby Yates has been okay, hasn't been great. Trinan's been hurt. Evan Phillips out for the year. Kopech has missed most of the year. Gratterall's missed all the year. So they have a lot of guys, and they're surviving. They're still doing fine. It's the Dodgers. What do you expect? It's World Series or bust for the Dodgers. So, of course, they're going all in on whatever they think is needed. I mean, they have Yamamoto. Kershaw's pitching pretty well. Glasnow came back. When do we see Sasaki? When do we see Snell? Look, the Dodgers are going for it. We know they're going for it. They're not going to stop halfway. Brandon Gomes and that whole Dodgers organization is all in.
Do you think they'll go big, Kratz? So another part of his notes column brought up the Twins and the Guardians, who I think we're going to talk about a lot. But let's focus on their relief pitching. He brought up Griffin Jackson, Jhoan Duran, as well as Emmanuel Clase and Cade Smith. He said it's not going to be easy to pluck those players. Also, Cleveland had the 10-game losing streak, and then they won, I think, 6-7 heading into the break. Twins played pretty good heading to the break. Both of them have kind of soft schedules over the next couple weeks, so it could be fool's gold. What do you think happens there, and what would you do? And one more caveat, Ken mentioned how the other element is that the Guardians are extremely disciplined in trade talks, often frustrating potential partners. That's been a reputation of theirs for a while. Plus, Derek Falvey began his front office career with Cleveland, and the Twins barely ever do anything because they're tough to deal with too.
Yeah, I don't see how the Twins get anything done without it being a mega return. And there's pretty much two teams that based on one, their cash, two, the way their GMs work and how badly they want to win. Phillies, Dodgers. Whether, Phillies, it's more about like, hey, Dave Dombrowski's he's like, I'll give it to you. What do you want? You have that guy. I want him. Let's go after it. So if you're talking about a Jhoan Duran being a mega piece, I don't see the Dodgers going after him. I think they would probably like a Griffin Jacks better just because the strikeouts are there. And Duran, while being a closer, there's those pieces. But to me, if somebody gets Clase, because I heard the rumors with the Phillies, to me, it's the Dodgers. And the Dodgers are not afraid to make a big splash. The Dodgers are not afraid to give Dalton Rushing to the Guardians if that's what they're looking for. The Guardians never really completely rebuild, and the Dodgers have AAA big league players who are young, have less than a year of service, and they can be plugged right into the Guardians lineup. And who of the Dodgers trades of prospects are you like, man, probably would like to have that guy back? No, they have a World Series from last year. They won another one again this year.
Do you think the Phillies could make a move for Clase or Duran? I mean, both of them have multiple years of control left. I imagine Justin Crawford gets it done, but the Phillies don't want to do that because he's probably going to be their outfielder, if not late this year, then starting next year for, they hope, 10 years. Mick Abel, we brought up quite a bit. I think one of those blue chip prospects does get a guy like that.
I don't think that's enough because
Really?
of Clase's contract. I think you're going to need a Mick Abel and an Aiden Miller and a Justin Crawford. And I don't say Andrew Painter because all I've heard is he is completely off limits. But Clase makes me feel like I'm going after a lot of guys. I'm letting you have somebody if I can have Clase. I don't care what he did last year in the playoffs or not. That is a shutdown closer who is locked in, which Dombrowski does like to do. He likes the guys who are still locked in a little bit.
Felix Bautista, AJ, has a couple years left of control, and I bet Mike Elias would do a move like that because the future is better than the present in Baltimore.
You always say I don't think he's trading Bautista. I just don't think. I think he's going to hold on to him for one more year and try to make a run next year because you have to go into next year with the closer, and Bautista looks really good this year, so I don't think the Orioles will move him.
Two
And I
more
would
quick
say,
ones. Yeah, go ahead, Kratz.
no, I was just going to say the only person I think would get Bautista out of Baltimore would be Painter, and that's another starting pitcher, which I think Mike Elias is like, you know what? We don't really need starting pitching. All of our starting pitchers that are hurt are just going to come back, and we're going to be perfect next year.
I disagree. I think Elias would do Abel for Bautista straight up. I do. I think that both sides would agree to that one. But we'll see. We'll see. Two more here. This one's quick. Luis Robert, according to Ken, is definitely getting shopped hard and probably getting traded because he has a $20 million club option next year, and there is no way that's getting picked up right now. I mean, he's stealing a bunch
Who
of
wants
bases,
him?
plays solid D, but I mean,
Who
his
wants
bat's
him?
terrible. A team
Who
will take a
wants him?
flyer on him if the White
You
Sox
think?
need most of the money. Yes. I think he's
You think-
definitely getting traded.
You think
but
the
they're gonna
White
get him
Sox are going
held.
to? You think the White Sox are going to eat a lot of that money though? I mean, they'd
Yes.
have to get something. They'd have to, the White Sox are probably asking for the moon for this guy, and he hasn't performed. It's been like 2.5 years since he's hit.
The price has dropped significantly. They're trying to at least salvage something out of him, but they held on too long. They blew it on that one. Hey, have you heard of Built? No? Do you pay rent? Yes? Okay, good. Let's talk. There's no cost to join, and just by paying rent, you unlock flexible points that can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and much more. When you pay rent through Built, you unlock two powerful benefits. First, you earn one of the industry's most valuable points on rent every month. No matter where you live or where your landlord is, your rent now works for you, and you gain access to exclusive neighborhood benefits in your city. Built's neighborhood benefits are things like extra points on dining out, complimentary post-workout shakes, and much more. Unique experiences that only Built members can access. And when you're ready to travel, Built points can be converted to your favorite miles and hotel points around the world, meaning your rent can literally take you places. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, what are you waiting for? Start paying rent through Built and take advantage of your neighborhood benefits by going to joinbuilt.com/foul. That's joinbilt.com/FOUL. Make sure to use our URL so that they know we sent you. Last one. The Rays, with a 3-11 slide heading into the break, could be buyers or could be sellers, according to Ken. If it's sellers, it could be guys like Pete Fairbanks and Brandon Lau, who have 1 year left of control after this season. They're club options for both of these guys. Here's the interesting part for me, AJ. Wander Franco had the 11-year, $181 million in guaranteed money, and he's got 8 years left of that, probably all going to disappear, and so the Rays don't have to pay it. Ken brought up Kyle Tucker in the offseason as a potential target.
Kyle Tucker is from Tampa. The Rays are in the process of getting sold to a Jacksonville developer who is going to buy the team for $1.7 billion and presumably will have the money to run the team. Now, what is the best move a new owner could make, presuming he is confirmed and approved by the offseason? The best move he can make would be to bring a guy like Kyle Tucker home. Now, Kyle Tucker is likely to get, $450 million, $500 million in free agency. The Rays offered Freddie Freeman about $150 a couple of years ago, but Kyle Tucker is going to get 3 times that. So I'm not expecting the Rays to be a player for Kyle Tucker. I just think it would be a really cool move if a new owner could come in and pull something like that off. Can you imagine? It would kind of shock the baseball world. The Rays are going back to the Trop next year. That is the expectation. And once they're sold, the expectation as well is that they're going to relocate possibly to Tampa. That would be the favorite in the clubhouse in a new ballpark. Well, here's your centerpiece for a new ballpark going forward. It would take a few years, of course, but if you're signing Kyle Tucker, you're signing him for more than a few years.
Percentage chance Kyle Tucker lands with the Rays is?
There's a better chance that this card that I have of Ellie De La Cruz is rated a 10 than Kyle Tucker signs with Tampa Bay.
You can't give me a 0. You're not even going to give me like a 5%?
0%. 0%.
Why?
Zero. They don't
New
have
owner.
a stadium. Here's the biggest thing. The new owner, great. But how's that new owner work down Baltimore?
Not well yet.
Okay, thank you. It takes them a little while to get in there and figure it out. They don't just go in there and throw their money around for no reason. Plus, the Rays don't have a stadium deal. They're still stuck in the Trop. Until they figure out the stadium, they don't know what their revenues are going to be or where they're going to be. So even if this deal gets done in September like they're talking about, it's going to take them a few months to get settled, figure out a stadium, all that stuff. So no, Kyle Tucker's not going to the Rays. I'm sorry. They would have to so overpay. They would have to give him the Juan Soto deal for him to go to Tampa. Do you think that's happening, Scott? What are the chances that happens?
I don't think he's going to get 765 mil. Here's the
Well,
thing. Steve Cohen took over for the Mets.
Give me
He
a
spent money
percentage.
right away. Mark Walter
Percentage
took over for the Dodgers, spent money right away. For me, Kyle Tucker right now, I'll give it a 5%.
Different. You're in different ballparks of people. Steve Cohen, no offense to Patrick Zalupski, but Steve Cohen and Patrick Zalupski and his group are way different animals, okay? The Guggenheim that owns the Dodgers, it's not, what's the guy's name that you named? It's not them, it's the Guggenheim thing. Mark Walter. They own Guggenheim. Next time you get 5 seconds of your life, Google how much Guggenheim is worth and then get back to me. That's not, I mean, that's like Steve Cohen to Scott Braun, and then Guggenheim's like 10 times bigger than Steve Cohen.
Hold up. I'll give you another example. It's one that you just brought up. Though it hasn't worked out well, that is on the GM. He's made crappy transactions. The Orioles upped their payroll by about $50 million this past offseason. That is about how much per season Kyle Tucker will probably end up
They're
getting.
just going to bring in
the Orioles
Kyle Tucker
just spent their money stupidly.
They're just going to
the Rays, they don't do much in the offseason anyway. I mean, they just signed Hassan Kim. They didn't, and then they traded away Springs. They're not really active. If they're going to surround themselves around one player, I don't think it's a crazy thought.
Okay. I'm checking to make sure we're not losing subscribers based on that comment and AJ saying that the home run derby should happen in regular season games. Like, come on, no, it's not going to happen. They offered Freddie Freeman $150 million. You're talking about Kyle Tucker. The get-in price is $450. They didn't take Juan Soto's contract off their books. Wander Franco's contract is not in the even $300 million range. No. Zero. No. Kyle Tucker. And other teams that actually want to win, like for real, are never going to let that happen. The Rays are like, hey, we'll give you $400 million. The Mets are like, we need a right fielder. Phillies are like, Castellanos is gone. We need a right fielder. Nope, we'll pay extra. Not going to happen.
Yeah, I actually think he's going to end up with the Yankees, but I just thought it was a fun exercise. I don't think it's crazy. They might throw an offer out there, just might not be the winning bid, but thank you.